You crushed it, bro. Let's mute yourself too. Welcome back. This is Wealth Principle 40. We have been going through the 52 weeks of wealth over the last 40 weeks. We have picked up so many powerful wealth principles for being a real estate investor who's looking to gain millions, being an entrepreneur, a business owner who's looking to get millions and wealth and riches, for being somebody who's possibly in the stock market or in cryptocurrency or gold, who's looking to double up, triple up, quadruple up their return on investment and stack that stuff up. Who here would like to make more money this year? Hands to the camera if you want to make more money. Yes. Hands to the camera if you want to do it with less work. So more money, less work. What are we, crazy? This is the right room. I knew I was with the right people. The key habit, the wealth principle 40 is create keystone habits. Keystone habits are defined as the cornerstones, the keystone. In building a house or a building with those rounded top doors, or building a bridge that curves, there's something called the keystone. And that keystone is the last piece that gets put in at the top. It's shaped almost like this. You see a little bit of a triangular shape to it. And that last piece that goes on the top that actually holds it all together so it can't fall apart is called the keystone. Without that piece, the bridge won't stand. Without that piece, those rounded windows that support thousands and thousands of pounds of building above them would not be able to hold that pressure. The keystone is the most important, arguably the most important stone when building a bridge. And it's the same in your life. When you're looking to get somewhere new and you're building the bridge, you're building the different pathways to get to the next level, you need to have those keystone habits that will clinch it, that will make sure it happens. Does this sound like a valuable topic if you want to become a millionaire? Yes. If you want to become a multimillionaire, does it sound like a valuable topic? If you want to make more money and work less, there are keystone habits to this. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So there are 3 keystone habits that I subscribe to that have changed my life, that will transform your life. And before we get into those 3 keystone habits, is it okay if I talk a little bit about myself and why you should have this information? Who here has heard me speak before? Hands to the camera. Excellent. Who has never heard me speak before? Awesome. Well, there's nobody on this screen who's never heard me speak before. So give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody on the screen is part of my mentorship program. We call it the Alchemist Mentorship Program. And in this program, it's 8 weeks of almost a boot camp, although Mike Shine would say boots on the ground would be one more addition we should add. Maybe we will. In this boot camp, you get me and the other 6 coaches who are going to push you to get to the next level. It is $1,000, and so extremely, extremely affordable if you're looking to get to the next level. But of course, it's very expensive if you're looking to stay right where you are, not making money, being broke like I was back in 2015, very broke. Before I learned how to get to $250,000, I was broke emotionally, I was broke financially, I was broke physically. Body wasn't healthy, wasn't eating right. Mentally, I was not happy with myself. I wasn't doing the right things. And financially, well, as you learned 2 weeks ago in Wealth Principle 38, how you do anything is how you do everything. And so the principles that I was following were not building wealth. They were keeping me broke. Hands to the camera if you've ever been broke before or know somebody who has, know what that might be like. Not having the money, not having the options, not having the ability to do what makes you happy in life, not be able to pay the bills. So when I was in that space, it wasn't very happy. And it wasn't until my wife left me that I realized that this wasn't going to change. This was who I was, and something had to change. Has anybody ever had a moment like that where you realized you had to change? It wasn't anybody around you that was causing the problems? Excellent. So what I did, because I had a decision to make, I was either going to end everything there, or I was going to move forward. I needed a bigger purpose. I needed something bigger to keep me moving forward. And so I thought of my brother and what he would think if I didn't continue. And that got me standing up. And then I walked over to the window and I started thinking about maybe there's other people who suffer this way, who just get so focused on money or get so focused on how unhappy they are in life, and they want to change their situation and change their lives and change their relationships and for the better and improve them all. And if I could just learn how to do this, then I could teach them, and I think that would make my life worth living. And over the last 5 years, I've done that. I've read over 300 books. I read a book a week. Hands to the camera if you read a book a week now that you've joined the program and have started it. Yes. Give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody in the mentorship program has learned the Keystone Habit of reading a book a week, which is very powerful. Start reading the books, start getting coaches, start getting mentors, surround myself with richer people. And I started changing my life. And I got to the point where life was significantly better. In fact, Ron and I, my business partner here, are both multimillionaires. We did it through real estate. We run a $5 million empire of just rental property. Obviously, we have this training company. We have a real estate team of real estate agents, and we're continuing to grow and expand. And now we're starting to trade our programs for silver. Ron Bowling, how cool was it holding 25 ounces of silver as a form of payment for the mentorship? What was that experience for you? You're muted. I cannot hear you. Yeah, you got to unmute. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
All right, that was great. Actually, you can see the silver right here.
Go and grab some of those giant ounces of silver.
So we got a couple of these the other day, and they're very pretty and nice. And now we've got coins on the brain, don't we?
Yeah, so it's definitely a new experience. Give Ron Bowling a round of applause. He is the shy one. He does not like being on camera. Not his thing.
Not at all.
Oh, there you go, Ron. So Ron is a result of me deciding to improve my life, to become better, to get to the next level. I started buying real estate. I was doing it on my own. And then when I got to 22 units, about a net worth of just under $500,000, because I had a lot of debt on those properties. So I had 22 units, but only a net worth of $500,000. It wasn't until I partnered up with him and took on that partnership and decided I'm going to make this man rich. And Ron will testify, I have told him every year that I'm going to make him filthy fucking rich. Those words come out of my mouth every single year. And that's my commitment to him. That's why we work together. I tell him to his face, I am going to make you richer. And when I turned Ron into a millionaire, it was shortly thereafter that we started building more millionaires. And the dream of building 100 millionaires came into being. And that's where the 52 weeks to wealth, the 52 wealth principles became a reality. Was we had to share these principles with other people. Now, Ron and I had already been starting and training because we knew training was the key to helping people get free. Answer the camera if you know training is the key to freeing your mind. Fixing this in between your ears is the secret to your success. Excellent. It's a powerful community we've built. It's people who are looking to learn more, they're taking action, and they're people who are moving forward. And I thank each and every one of you for showing up each week, putting all the effort in, putting the work in, because your results, that's what I live for. That's the reason that we're here. That's why we do it all. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank each and every one of you for being part of the Alchemist community, part of the mentorship program. The graduates who are giving back and training other members and teaching people and pulling people forward. I appreciate each and every one of you. Pretty amazing. The coaches, we got Doug McGurk wearing the craziest face mask and outfit I've ever seen him in. Mike Shine, Mitch Jorsky. There's Darina, who is left. Where are the other coaches?
Ryan McDermott.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah, because he's so tiny on his desk. So Ryan McDermott, thank you, sir. Mitch Jorsky, thank you for your commitment. You're actually hanging up here in New England with us. Doug McGurk, I'll see you in Florida in 2 weeks. And Mike Shine, I'm going to miss you, my friend. Sushi the other day was phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you for all of the education that you guys put in to make sure the future millionaires are learning from you. You're also all millionaires. Terry, where's Terry Wager? Where'd he go? There he is. All millionaires and financial experts looking to help people bring themselves to the next level. It's really, really important to have a community like you who are already millionaires, who people can trust with their information, trust with their problems, and say, well, how did you handle this when you got to this issue? So the millionaires in the group make it a lot easier. How cool is it that I already sold something and I haven't even delivered the value yet? but it feels like I've delivered some value. Yes? Excellent. Now we get to dive into my favorite part, which is the actual principles. We're going to talk about the Keystone principles. There's 3 Keystone principles. Now, there are other principles I will give away for free. Is it okay if I add some bonuses for free? Yes? Excellent. At this point, Ron, you can bring everybody into the room. Bring them all in. This way they can party with us. Just make sure they're all on mute so they can't interrupt the man with the plan. Keystone principle number 1. Write this down. You want to write these down and apply them to your life as we're going through this process. Keystone principle number 1 is you must learn more. You must learn more every day. Every day you must learn something. I don't care if it's reading a book. I don't care if it's watching a YouTube video, a YouTube University. I don't care if it's an audiobook. It could be going and talking to somebody smarter than you. But you got to learn something every day. Principle 1, Keystone habit number 1, seek out information, but don't seek out wasted information. So every Keystone principle has a dark side to it. Information can kill you. Information can create information overload and analysis paralysis, which will kill any real estate investor, any business owner or entrepreneur, any investor. And so when you seek out information, make sure it is applicable information to what will build your wealth, what will make you happy, or what will make you healthy. Relationships, health, and wealth. Those 3 arenas. If the information you're gathering does not add value to your life, it's not the right information. Does that make sense, Ron? Can we make sure everybody is muted as they're coming through? Does that make sense? We want to make sure that you're getting the right information. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, information that moves you towards finding your next deal, would that be valuable? Yes. If there was information about how to find the next deal, very good. If there was information on how to find the money for the next deal, also valuable, yes. Hands to the camera if we know. If you don't have enough people who know about you, if you're broke, if there's not enough people handing you money right now, you could use some information around getting more attention for yourself, but not just any attention, the right attention. Yes, hands to the camera. I'm not going to sell the fact that I have built 3 training courses with those names, get the deal, get the money, and get the attention. I won't bring that up for you. But those training courses do exist because they were Keystone habits. And that's really why we built them. As real estate investors, we want to know how to get the deal, get the money, and write these down if you've not heard me say it before. Get the deal, get the money, and get the attention. Because attention is how you raise capital, and attention is how you get other people to work for you for free. Who here wants people to work for them for free? Excellent. A very smart room. Who here knows that if I asked you to do something for me and it didn't cost you any money, but it cost you about an hour of your time, who here would do it for free for me? Yes. And so attention is very powerful. Making sure that people know who you are, making sure you're delivering value and you're doing a lot of giving for people. That way it comes back. Eventually it will come back. And that's not the reason you do it. You do it because you want the other person to genuinely do well. You do it because you have a gift and you have something you're good at and you share that with other people. But don't just share it with one person. Share it with 100. Share it with 1,000. Powerful Keystone principle. Learn how to do that. Learn how to improve. Learn how to be a better person. I'll give you a little book on this one, although this is not the book of the week. Mike Shine is going to present the book of the week in a little bit. And Mike, you read this book this week, right? This is actually fresh in your head? The Power of Habit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great book.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to that discussion. This was a life changer for me. So the book I was about to talk about is I lost it. So fuck. What did I just say right before that, Mike or Ron? You weren't listening?
That it wasn't the book of the week, but it changed your life.
Yep. Elizabeth Miller, what did I say right before that?
I was typing. I didn't hear it all.
Courtney Wise. Christine McGinley. Here we go.
Add value.
Add value. Give Christine a round of applause. Sometimes as I go into these rants, I don't have anything written down. Notice there is no PowerPoint, there is no bullet points. So sometimes I'll forget a topic as I'm going through. Adding value is a keystone principle. Any person you meet, make their lives better. Any person that you come into contact with, make their lives better. With another principle behind it, as long as it doesn't take away too much of your time or happiness. If it's in line with something you're good at, add value. If they have something you want, add more value, unless it compromises your integrity. If adding value to their life compromises your integrity, fucking find someone else to get what you want. There's plenty of people in the world. You can move around to the right people. If you can learn, oh, found it, got the book. Thank you, Christine. You really jogged my memory there. Perfect. How to win friends and influence people. If you can learn the principles behind how to win friends and influence people, you can have the world. If you can learn how to give people what they're looking for, you can have whatever you want. Zig Ziglar says you can have whatever you want if you just help enough people get what they want. Who's heard that one before? Good old Zig Ziglar. Excellent. Moving forward, principle number two. Principle number two, take action. 2 words that scare most people. Take action. T-A, take action. And what does that mean? Take action does not just do shit. Does not mean just do things. In fact, somebody said yesterday to me, and I took offense to this. They told me, man, I see you all over the place. You've been busy. And I stopped and I said, no, I've been productive. I am having a blast and I've been productive. Busy, sir, is what working people are. Busy is what people who have 9-to-5s are. Hands to the camera if you've ever had a 9-to-5 work for somebody else. You know what busy feels like. You're running on the mouse wheel over and over, not getting anything done. Productive, on the other hand, productive will make you rich. So take productive action. And what is productive? If it moves you in the direction that you're looking for, if it makes more money, makes you happy, do it. If it doesn't make you money, but it makes you happy, and it's for your significant other or your children, maybe you should do it, right? As long as it doesn't lose money. Warren Buffett's rule number 1, don't lose money. Who here knows what rule number 2 is? Hands to the camera if you know rule number 2, Warren Buffett.
Don't lose money. See rule number 1.
See rule number 1.
So Warren
Walter,
go ahead, Mitch.
Remember, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
I knew it. Last night, me and Mitch were talking about all the rappers that make really good comments. What's the other one, Mitch?
Oh, there was more?
Organize and collect. Ludacris.
Well, I guess technically a rapper did say that, although it was a line in a movie. But yeah, organize and collect.
So Mitch Jorsky has based all of his philosophies on money around people who flash a lot of money. So I guess it makes sense. Organize and collect, which is what we do as investors. That's the smartest thing you can do. Organize and collect. And then if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. Write that down. That's part of key principle 2, sub principles within the Keystone Habits. So Keystone Habits, again, for anybody who just signed in, they are the cornerstone or the keystone to a bridge, to anything that's going to hold a lot of weight. It's that last stone you put in that supports everything else. And these keystone principles, these 3, these keystone habits, because they're things you do every single day, every single interaction you have in your life has to be to add value, has to be taking action, doing something. Don't be the person in the room who just does nothing about something. Be the person who does something, even if it's the wrong something. Just take action. You'll find out faster if it was the wrong action, if you just do it, than by thinking about it and having analysis paralysis and paralyzing yourself by analyzing something so much. Does that make sense? Who has ever thought about something for like a week and not done it? And if you just done it a week ago, it would have been done. It would have been over. You would have known if it was the right thing or the wrong thing to do, and you would have fixed it already. Yes? Hands to the camera if we've ever had an experience like that. Move faster. I did an interview with a gentleman, Connor Steinbrook, a while back, and he runs a podcast called Investor Army. And you can check out Connor Steinbrook. He's a very, very smart investor. And what his whole purpose is to move faster. He said, look, I've made mistakes. I've done things well. I wish I did the good things earlier. I wish I learned about the bad things faster. And so now I just move through life quickly. I no longer sit there and hesitate. I see an idea, I take it, I go. I'm either going to do it, I commit all the way, or I'm not, and I just never think about it again. And I just move forward. And he said that speed, that speed and intensity of making decisions leads me to another one of my principles that I have not put into this in this program, but successful people make decisions quickly and they change them never, if ever. You can write that down. That's a freebie. That's not even part of this lesson. But this is a keystone habit. Successful people make decisions quickly and they stick to them forever and they change them never. This making sense? Never, if ever, right? If you do change one, it would have to be substantial information in front of your face saying this is not going to work. But for the most part, successful people jump into businesses that seem impossible and then they make them succeed. Have we seen businesses that seemed impossible? Amazon selling books online seemed impossible, and now it's one of the biggest companies in the world. Seemed like an impossible idea. Even now, even today, if you told me you're creating an online bookstore, I would laugh my ass off. Answer the camera if you feel what I'm talking about. It's just a product you wouldn't think would be successful. And yet Bezos stuck to it. He ran with it and he scaled it into other things that became massively, massively successful. And so this keystone habit of making decisions quickly, sticking to them and never changing or just going with it is one of the principles to success. You have to do it. You have to make decisions fast. Successful people make decisions. Successful people take action. Successful people do the right thing, even if they're not comfortable. They just do. They just take action. So key principle number 2, take action. Take productive action. Don't be busy. I'll tell you a little story about don't be busy. I remember when I was young, I was working for somebody else and I was in a warehouse, and my job that day was to sweep the floor of that warehouse. And so I went out and I swept the hell out of that floor. I put this cleaning dust stuff down so it would suck up all the dust, and I'd sweep it. And it took me 4 hours to sweep this warehouse that normally took my manager 1 hour. And so when my manager came over and told me, dude, Walter, what are you doing? You spent 4 hours on this project. You just swept the floor for 4 hours. I was like, yeah, but this floor has never been swept this way. This floor is now squeaky clean. Look, I moved racks and I got behind stuff and it's all cleaned out. And he looked around and he said, that doesn't pay. That doesn't matter. This is a 1 hour job you took 4 hours doing. It doesn't matter how good you do it. Does that make sense? Yes, we know it. And yet every day, every one of us has inefficiencies in our life. We're busy doing things that don't pay us, busy doing things that don't add value. The 80-20 rule. Who's heard of the 80-20 principle? Yes, we talk about the 80-20 in sales and marketing in one of our wealth principles. And in that wealth principle, we discussed how 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. And if you could just start focusing on the 20%, you'd have more results. And then if you did it again and again and again, you can increase your income and you can decrease the amount of work you're putting in. Increasing income, decreasing work by focusing on the 80-20, taking the right action, productive action. So that's Keystone principle number 2, productive action. Keystone principle number 3, get a coach, get a mentor, get somebody around you smarter than you. Don't be the smartest person in the room. If you're the smartest person in the room, you've heard it from me, from other people before, get out of that room. Find another room. Run! Get out! You're in danger. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need a new room. Get around smarter people. If you want to be healthy, go to the gym, find the most in shape person in there. They're probably a trainer anyway. They're probably a coach or a personal trainer or a fitness trainer, or they're training for some sort of marathon. Get around that person. If you're in the success arena, you want to be wealthy, Go and find somebody who's wealthy and ask them questions like, what can I do to spend more time with this wealthy person, right? This Saturday call is a perfect example. We've got 7, 8 millionaires on this call right now that I know of. I don't know if some of the other new people have logged in and are millionaires. I haven't had the conversation with you yet. But these people that I know that I can personally verify are wealthy individuals who out earn the average person. I know people in this call who have earned more in a month than the average person earns in a year. How cool is that you're in this kind of a room? Hands to the camera if you think that's a cool place to be. Yes. And so who you spend your time with will dictate who you are. There's one other. You want a good relationship? Who here would like a great relationship? Fantastic relationship with their spouse. It would be like amazing to have that, double it, take it to the next level. Find somebody who's been married for 20 years and loves it. Don't ask the person, do not ask this person who said, when you ask, how long have you been married? And they say too long, conversation stops there. Yes? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Don't ask that person relationship advice. That's not the life you're looking for. When you ask a person how long they've been married and they say 35 years, and then you say, wow, it's a long time. How do you do it? And they say something like this. They say, well, it's about mutual respect. It's about remembering how things were in the beginning and remembering that they're an amazing person. I just want to give them more. I want to over deliver. Take that person's advice. It sounds like they have a good life. Yes. 35 years married. Okay. You've got a success track. You've got a record of success. I want to work with people with a record of success in my health, my wealth, and my relationships. And that key principle, surrounding yourself, not with people who can talk, but with people who have results, who have success, who can document it, who can say, yes, here it is. Look at this story of the time I went from broke to $250,000 in a short period of time. Look at this. Look at my empire of 60 units. Look at this training company that I have. Look at this real estate team that kicks ass, so I don't have to go and do any real estate. So when I tell you you can be a real estate agent and you don't have to do the transactions, look at my paychecks. Look at my bank account. Look at how it operates. This makes sense? If I tell you that you can run a 60-unit portfolio, and if you feel like it, you can go look at the properties. But if you don't feel like it, somebody else, I can pay my property manager $40 and she'll go down there and do that for me. This makes sense? Do I look good in a shirt that says 100 millionaires? Yeah, because I love it. It's not the shirt that makes me happy. It's the energy behind the shirt. It's the mission behind the shirt. I'm building 100 millionaires. Hang around with me. You don't have a fucking choice except to become a millionaire or a multimillionaire. Does that make sense? Stick around. We're going to the top. I'm building deck of millionaires, and maybe 1 or 2 of you will become 100 millionaires, hectomillionaires, like me and where's Mike Shine? Mike Shine, where you at? You walked away. So Mike Shine and I have been talking about hectomillionaires. That's $100 million, or whatever currency we may be using in the future. Currencies may shift. That's okay. The relative status of hectomillionaires what we're going after. Mike Shine, yes? And so it's a mindset. It's a different thought. I'm surrounding myself with people who are willing to think bigger, right? Wealth principle number 1, think $1 million. Wealth principle number 2, choose a business that can make $1 million. If it can't make $1 million, don't waste any more time on it. You want productive hours. So key principle 3 is, key principle 2 was take action, take productive action. Key principle 3 is surround yourself with the right people. Get mentors, get coaches, get masterminds. If you want to be successful, I've talked about this before, 3 coaches, health, wealth, relationships, 2 mentors, local and far away, but in your industry and in what you're doing, and a mastermind full of people who are in your industry doing what you're doing, who are bigger than you. You pay when they're bigger than you. You are invited if you're bigger than them. Does that make sense? And it's okay to teach. It's okay to be in a mastermind where you're the smartest person in the room. Just understand you're going to need something else to counterbalance that. You just need something else to make sure that you're getting yourself to the next level. You pay for the masterminds that are above you or that people have more knowledge or experience than you. And for the ones where you're delivering value, you're probably invited for free. Is that fair to say? Hands to the camera. Who has been invited for free to speak on something they were really smart at? Yes. Yes. Something you knew very well. Who here was ever paid to speak at something you had no clue about? Am I the only one? Okay, Christine, there you go. But that's because you pay for people who have knowledge. You pay for surround yourself with that kind of network. So it's just a part of the game. Terry and I have paid a lot of money in education. Terry, what is the most expensive mastermind you've ever paid for?
We paid for a $50,000 mastermind and just renewed it.
You renewed it. You mean you paid for it again?
Yes.
Excellent. That's all I wanted to find out. Mine was $35,000, and it was not a $50,000 I did twice, right? So Terry's gotten enough value out of that room to justify a $100,000 investment over 2 years. Hands to the camera. How much money would $100,000 be enough to justify that? How about a $200,000 return? Would that be enough to justify an investment like that, being around the right people? How about a $500,000 return? Would that be worth being around the right people? Yes, I agree. That's why we pay to play.
I got this cool sign too.
Yeah, that's why we pay to play. So if you want the secrets to success, go make more money, reinvest it in those 3 areas. Learning more, taking action, because sometimes you can take more productive action by simply delegating and managing. I have a lot of people that I can pay money to at any moment to get something done. I have a lot of people that I could make a text or a phone call to who would do it for free. At the beginning of this call, I asked our whole community, and I said, if I asked you for a favor that would only take an hour of your time and that you were already good at, hands to the camera if you would, no problem, I would have that hour of yours. Excellent. That's over 40 hours. That's over 40 hours that would expect no compensation on the other side of it. Goodwill can create that. Now, if I was willing to pay you $20, $30, $40 an hour, could I get 10 hours out of you? Answer the camera if you would give me 10 hours. If I was willing to give you $100 an hour, if your skill was that great that I needed it, would you give me 10 hours of your time? Excellent. So with a little bit of extra money, you can pay people to go do things that are under your dollar per hour worth. My dollar per hour worth is somewhere around $1,000 an hour. And at $1,000 an hour, it doesn't make sense for me to do things that don't bring in $1,000. But when I started growing, I became a $40 an hour person. Then I was a $100 an hour person. Then I was a $200 an hour person. And at $200 an hour, I no longer cut my grass. I no longer did my laundry. I no longer wash dishes. Does this make sense? At $200, I no longer did a lot of the things that I used to think were smart moves. I didn't do my own plumbing anymore because plumbers were $150 an hour. I didn't do my electricity because electricians were $75 an hour. I shifted out of those trades that cost me less money than I became worth. And I found that my value, my most valuable time was in front of people, speaking, teaching, training, building relationships, and deepening those relationships. And that's where I make $1,000 an hour. In this conversation, if one person shows up to the mentorship program, if one person pays $1,000 for the mentorship, not only have I gained $1,000 for an hour worth of my time, I've also gained a new person committed to my mission of building 100 millionaires. Does that make sense? We see how leverage can work over time as you become wealthier and you develop and you build yourself. Yours may be different. Your path may be different. You may go down a different avenue. You may not be a public speaker the way I am, but you may have an internet company. You may have somebody else who does the sales and marketing of your company. This public speaking gig, though, I will tell you, is worth it because it's what brings me all my real estate deals. It's what brings me all my capital. It's what brings me all of you friends who want to build the same things as me. And so public speaking could be a very powerful lesson for you to learn. Doug McGurk is actually running a public speaking training. That is going to be very powerful. Doug, if you could drop that in the chat. Awesome. This way everybody has access to it. And then on the Facebook Live, you can put your link to the public speaking training that you're doing. Excellent. Excellent. Who here's found value in this so far? These 3 key principles, Keystone Habits. Learn more of the right stuff. Take productive action, and you surround yourself with people smarter, richer, healthier, wealthier, happier than you. And be aware of pretenders. Some people look rich, but they're not rich. Some people look happy, but they're not happy. The actions speak louder than words. Don't listen to what they say. Listen to what they do. See what they do. Pay attention to their actions. That's what you're looking for in life, their actions. Mike Shine, let's bring on the book of the week.
All right. Let's see. So this one I listened to on Audible, which, as we've said a million times, is okay. Give me 1 second. I just want to put it in there because people always say, what was the book? So there we go. So Control V. It's The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. This is a great book, especially if you've been doing a lot of like self-help books that have no plot. This book tells a lot of really cool stories. It talks about Michael Phelps, talks about Alcoa, and obviously, as Walter was mentioning, it talks about Keystone Habits. When Alcoa was struggling, I forgot the name of the guy who came in, but his whole focus was on safety, and nobody understood why he wasn't talking profit and things like that. But that was the Keystone Habit. If he could get all the tens of thousands of employees at Alcoa to think safety, that led to everything else falling in line and Alcoa becoming a much more successful company. So yeah, it's a great book. It really goes well with what Walter is talking about with Keystone Habits, and it does it in a nice way that's really entertaining to listen to. So yeah, it's a good book. I like it better than the Compound Effect from last week. So there you go.
Give Mike Shine a round of applause. It's funny because we did habits for 2 weeks because habits are so important. There's so many elements to them. Last week, Mike's right, we talked about the book, The Compound Effect, where your habits have an effect over time that becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, just more and more money, more and more health, more and more quality relationships over time because of the compound effect. But the Keystone principal habits, those Keystone habits are so powerful because without them, you don't get the compound effect. And if you can figure out those small little habits, like being honest, being like, the 4 agreements. Mike and I talked about this book a while back. The 4 agreements: being impeccable with your word, taking nothing personally, doing your best.
Assumptions.
Don't make assumptions, and doing your best. Those are Keystone habits. Keystone habits that if you just put them into your life, think about it. Think about it. If you were honest with yourself, impeccable with your word, just always said exactly what you wanted, exactly what you meant, you'd have everything that you want. You'd be very clear. And if you're a little foggy, well, figure it out. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. If you were
mention a book, I have to say something about it.
Go ahead, Mike.
That's the 4 agreements. If you just picked one of those agreements and focused on any one of them, your life would change in an instant. That was probably one of the first books I read right before my real estate investment career took off. So 4 agreements. Yeah, I'd read that before I read The Power of Habit, actually. So there you go.
So Mike Shine is our closing attorney, does all of our closings. He's also very good at raising private capital and doing the documents and teaching you how to raise capital if you're looking to get more money for your deals. He's a coach in our program. So in the mentorship program, you get access to Mike Shine. And of course, if you put this number in the chat, you can get access to him anyway. Mike Shine is just a real giver, but he also helped me build the 52 books that go with the 52 wealth principles. And you can go to waltermerlo.com and check out the website where we have the 52 wealth principles all lined up and the books corresponding right on the side of them. Terry Wager. Terry Wager is, this guy is all about the principles. He's all about the Keystone Habits. His coaching company is called Generator Coaching because they generate more income, not by just saying, hey, go do this, right? Yes, he's a coach, and yes, he'll tell you what to do or suggest strongly, but what he does is he gives you the habits, the Keystone habits that you put into your life so that you want to do the right things automatically. He uses a lot of psychology knowledge that he's built over the years to make sure that you move forward doing successful things. Remember, principle Keystone Habit 2 is take action. And the reason you don't have everything that you want is, one, you don't know what you want. Two, not taking enough action on the right things. So getting a coach like Terry Wager is valuable. He is in our mentorship program, so he gives you a free session when you work with us. And it's a pretty powerful session. People have, in that one session, said, oh my God, I want more. This is life-changing. This is how I get to the next level. Terry, what would you say about the Keystone Habits is the biggest takeaway from this training today?
It's really about being intentional. And so, habits are something we hope to become automatic. And really, when we think about habits, it's really about becoming very intentional. And I would say that's the biggest habit that people have to get. If we're going to use that idea of habits, we want to be intentional about everything we do. We want to think about where we're going, how we're getting there. And when we really start thinking like that, we start to move forward fast.
That's awesome. Give Terry a round of applause. He is one of our coaches. He also owns his own coaching company, and being able to work with Terry to help people move forward with Christine and Terry is just a great feeling. We're building millionaires, and so I've had to acquire people who know how to do that. And yes, I'm great at what I do. Yes, I'm a multimillionaire. And yes, I can teach. Who here has learned something from today's lesson? Excellent. But I'm smart enough to know I want more support around me. I want people who are very good at what they do, who can help me move people forward. And that's why I've surrounded myself with great coaches like Ryan McDermott, Terry Wager, Mitch Jorsky, Mike Shine. These people who know how to move people forward in their arenas, in the financial arena, in the cryptocurrency real estate arena, in the law mindset. All the different elements had to be covered by a professional, a specialist. Remember what I said, if you're the smartest person in the room, get it out of the room. So I surround myself with people who are smarter than me in their respective professions. Does that make sense? That's what smart people do. Don't be afraid to bring people smarter than you into your programs, into your company, into your business. In fact, seek them out. Look for people smarter than you. Hunt for them. If you have to pay for them, pay for them. It's okay. Whatever it takes, as long as you're moral and ethical and you're adding value to their lives one way or the other, whether it's payment or you're doing something or you found a way to improve their lives somehow, some way, then it's okay to ask questions. Does that make sense? It's okay to ask them, hey, how do I make another $1 million? How do I get to the next level? How do I do it? Because at that point, they feel obliged. It's called the law of reciprocity. When you give, someone else feels they have to give. When somebody gives you a compliment, naturally your mind says, oh, thank you, you too. You don't just say, oh, thank you. You're right, I do look good today. You say, oh, thank you, you have a nice dress too. Or like we know the natural instinct. Hands to the camera if you have that natural instinct to give somebody back that compliment. Yes. Well, it's not just compliments. When somebody gives you value, when somebody says, I will pay you for your knowledge, I feel a responsibility to give them knowledge. Does that make sense? It's like I have to do it. I've committed now because they've committed first. When somebody smiles in your direction like this, you now feel the requirement to smile back. It's one of those pieces. Human nature. It's called the law of reciprocity. And so understanding these different tactics will help move you forward in your life, yes? Excellent. So you can give just a little and you'll get just a little. You can give quite a bit and you'll get quite a bit. When I give somebody $300,000 for a multifamily house, guess what I get? A multifamily house that cash flows a whole lot. Who wants one of those? Yes, who wants to buy more real estate? Excellent. Give more. Be willing to give more. Be willing to go out of your way to make sure the deal is so sweet they can't go somewhere else. Seller financing, offering different options. There's so many different ways to get good deals. Be willing to show up when nobody else is showing up. It's a secret in this business. The reason, and where my wholesalers at, people who wholesale real estate, hands to the camera if you've ever wholesaled real estate or do it actively. There we go. Howie, Elizabeth Miller, yeah, Roger. There's a few of you on here. The secret is show up at somebody's house Who doesn't expect you showing up? Show up to somebody's house that has not seen a real estate agent yet. Show up and offer to sell them that house without bringing an agent in. And they get excited. Where are my real estate agents at? Hands to the camera if you're a real estate agent. Excellent. Real estate agents. The secret is go and call somebody or show up to somebody's house who has not yet heard from somebody else. That's it. Just go add value. Let them know, hey, I can sell it for more. I can sell it faster. Let me give you a free consultation on how you could do for under $5,000 these renovations that will improve the curb appeal, the turnaround time, the speed of sale. There are, with $5,000, I can make somebody want a house more likely with just the paint and a couple cosmetic fixes. I can improve the value of a house visually. In fact, did you know that as a real estate investor, as somebody who flips property, my biggest job is perceived value, not true value? Hands to the camera if you've ever heard that or considered that concept. You know who the worst real estate investors are? And I know I have two contractors on here and I love you both. Contractors, because they try to make everything right. They'll go spend money on the furnace, even though it's a 20-year furnace and it still freaking works. They'll spend money on the furnace. Steve, you know what I'm talking about. You know these guys. It's not you, but you know the guys. Yeah. They'll go and spend money on something that's already working and say, well, it adds value to the house. And as a real estate investor who's done a lot of flips, no, it doesn't. No, heating system will never add value to your house. Running new electrical will never add value to your house. Running new pipes doesn't matter. Nope, not adding value. You know what adds value? Perceived value, perception. Getting rid of the dark colored wood around the house and painting it white, instant value. Getting rid of bad looking floors, you could put a cheap floor down, but if it's gray and white, you win. Hands to the camera if you know what I'm talking about. That birch look, it could be tile, it could be cardboard. If it's put down and it has that look, you've won. It does not matter. Wall color, right? That little grayish, bluish wall color with the white moldings. If I see wood on the walls, I'm like, oh, perfect. This is my project. I'm just going to paint it. I can't wait. It's perception. Value is perception. If you can create the right perceived value. Yeah, Terry Wager just texted me instead of the whole group, but he said creating perceived value is a gold mine course. And it's true. We should probably teach that lesson, how people can create perceived value. Give Terry Wager a round of applause. He's always looking at ways to add value to the community. I like that. Perceived value, how to change perception and what you can do in your real estate deals and your transactions and your conversations to create perceived value. That's Terry, you're writing that down as an idea? Excellent. Okay, cool. Excellent. Christine wrote it down. Give Christine, I'm sorry, I gave the wrong round of applause. Give Christine a round of applause for being so valuable. For everybody who has their camera on, I see you, I appreciate you. I love seeing your faces. You are the reason we show up Saturday. You're the reason that I think late at night on a Friday night, what am I going to present as a story? How can I make sure this principle is enacted upon? And because I usually do an exercise, I want you to pull out a pen and paper so we can get this exercise going. And we're going to make it very, very, very powerful. This is going to be, again, Keystone Habits. We're going to use those 3 Keystone Habits we talked about earlier, and we're going to put them into play because actions speak louder than words. You don't have to tell me what you're about to do. You just show me. 1, write it down, a number 1. And on the side of that number 1, you're going to think about the one thing you could learn this week that would blow your business out of the water. The one thing you could learn this week that would either bring in another $1 million or bring you a property or double your income of your business. What is the one thing you could learn, the one lesson you could learn? Write that down now. That one lesson you could learn that would double your income, bring in $1 million, buy you an extra property, double your units. What is the one thing I could learn that would take me from 60 units to 120 units? That's a good example. Anybody need more time? Everybody's got it. Good. Number 2, what is the one thing I can do? This comes out of the book, The One Thing, such that by doing it, everything else is easier or unnecessary. this week, what is the one thing I could take action on? Productive action, the one thing for a whole week. So this is not something small. This is not like go kiss my wife or go call that one person. This is the one thing you could do in a week. And maybe it is calling the right person. It's just got to be a bigger person. What is the one thing you do this week that would change your business, change your career, change your life, move you forward, get you to the next level? The one thing that would really change your life, write it down. To take action on, to do, to make you successful. Remember, successful people take action quickly and they don't change their mind. They just do it. What is the one thing that'll make you successful this week? Now, 3, who is the one person I could reach out to who has what I want this week? Somebody I could reach out to and build that relationship with. If it's a mentor or a coach, you may have to pay them. If it's a mastermind, you may have to pay them. If it's somebody in your industry who's just a little better than you, you may be able to take them out to lunch. Or if it's somebody who has something that you want and you have something you could trade for it, and maybe making that phone call to a motivated seller who has a house and you want that house, who's that one person you could talk to? Write that down. This week, who's the one person that you could talk to that would change your business, take your business to the next level, double your income, bring you that extra house, bring you that extra $1 million? Who's the one relationship you could build this week? What's the one relationship? Write it down. It's a powerful exercise. And if you just did this every week you'd be a different person. Every week you'd be leveling up. Keystone habits. They're literally what you build your bridge on. Your bridge from where you are to where you want to go. And if I so happen to be one of those Keystone people, then gualtermarolo.com/mentor. You can sign up there, sign up for the mentorship. If you're already in the mentorship, you want to sign up for the mastermind, it's gualtermarolo.com/mastermind. And I implore everybody to sign up. If you do want to learn more and you're not sure if this is the right thing for you, contact Darina Pagodina. There's her Calendly, and schedule a 15-minute conversation with her. But be respectful of her time. She's very important. She's very busy. She's very productive. Let me take that back. Sorry, babe. Yes, very productive. She's doing a lot in her life, and I like to keep her on the right tactics, the right strategy. If you're somebody who's serious and you do want information, she will take the time to educate you and inform you of what this process looks like. And she's very caring and she's empathetic. She understands. She's been there just like I have, just like everybody else in the mentorship has been there, and they're building themselves up. Hands to the camera if you are moving forward powerfully in the mentorship program, and graduates of the mentorship program moving forward powerfully. Yes. Give everybody in the Alchemist mentorship program a round of applause. These are powerful people. They bet on themselves. When they signed up for the mentorship, they didn't bet on me. They bet on themselves. I already knew I could deliver. It's them who had to say, yes, I'm going to do what it takes over these next 8 weeks. I'm going to do the net worth tracker. By the way, everybody in the mentorship, net worth tracker is a keystone habit. You already know this because I've explained it, but this is a keystone habit. The training videos that we put out there you go. Those are 8 more keystone habits, right? Each one of them is very important. And each one of the coaches reaching out to people who are specialists in what they do, that's a keystone habit. You have access to them in the mentorship program, and even after the mentorship program, you become a graduate, you still have access to these coaches, you still have access to these people. Now, just understand, if you have, and this is one thing I see all the time with coaches, not Mitch Jorsky, but other coaches, not in our program, but in other programs, is because Mitch analyzes deals. A lot of times people will think, well, Mitch is in the program, he just analyzed my deal. Like, Mitch is a very successful, very busy real estate investor and cryptocurrency trader and a stock trader. And so his time is precious. He actually makes money through using his time, but it's leveraged highly by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so if he's on a call with somebody or if he's evaluating a deal, he has to have some sort of payment to justify him taking his eyes off the screen and not doing that crypto trade or that stock trade. And so he does have a coaching program that you can pay for. And absolutely, I encourage anybody who's about to do a deal, wants to do a deal, wants to learn how to evaluate a deal, bring him on retainer and get him in there. He's very, very inexpensive. What he charges is super valuable, super affordable. Where's Jill on this call? Oh, she's doing an open house. So Jill told me a long time ago, I used to say that everything was cheap. And she's like, that doesn't give the right incentive. Who knows that they don't like the word cheap? They like the word inexpensive or affordable. Yes. For some reason, I like the word cheap. It makes me excited. I'm like, am I getting silver for cheap? Cool. Sign me up for the cheap silver. Because in my head, that just means I'm not paying a lot. I want good quality. Yes, cheap to me means still good quality, but at a great price. And that's what I'm looking for. I don't see him on here, but we have a new member in the mentorship, and I want to give him a round of applause anyway. He paid in silver. He paid for the mentorship in silver. And so we gave him a 50% discount because Ron and I want silver. Do you see how mentors work, how people work when you want something? Like, we're willing to give a discount because we wanted the silver more than the dollars. Does that make sense? And he was a clever guy. He said, look, I'll pay in silver. How much, if I pay in silver, what's the discount? And I was so thrown off by it that I was like, dude, 50%. Ron has now got me up to 20% discount. So if you pay in silver, it's a 20% discount. So, but I'm still negotiable. Ron has said for $800 in silver mentorship program, but it has to be silver. It's not $800. This is $800 in silver because we just wanted to collect silver. Like, this is a perfect example of the principle of do what the person making more than you wants. This kid was smart enough. He actually saved himself a ton of money by just going and getting us what we wanted. Right? We've actually brought people into the mentorship program who brought us properties. If they brought us a property, we bought the property. We were like, look, free coaching, mastermind, jump in. You get access to all our stuff because you made us hundreds of thousands of dollars. And for my new friend Trevor, who actually is a tenant in one of my buildings, how cool is that I get to change my tenants' lives? Like, to me, when a tenant goes and buys a rental property and I'm their agent, I don't even care if I'm their agent. I really don't care who their agent is. If one of my tenants goes and buys a rental property, I'm on top of the world. That's like building the 100 millionaires. That's a step in the right direction. When one of my tenants says they want to join our coaching program, that's huge. That to me is huge. And to pay in silver, well, that was even cooler. So give Trevor Heggs a round of applause. He's not on the call right now, but I know he watches the live feeds later on. So this is for you, Trevor. Appreciate you so much, man. Looking forward to bringing you to the next level. And for all the coaches, yes, feel free to charge your coaching programs in silver now because silver prices are up and it looks like it's going to go to 100. According to Robert Kiyosaki, I'm not giving financial advice or telling you to buy silver. I am simply telling you to give me your silver if you want more mentorship or coaching or getting to the next level. Is that
Well, not just silver.
Ron, will we also accept gold?
We'll take some other precious metals. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah.
How about horses? I know Dorina likes horses.
No horses. No.
Okay. All right. So we're very clear. There's just two precious metals that we're taking at the moment. Give everybody a round of applause. This is a fun training. I love doing this. The Saturdays, by the way, Keystone Habit. Do something that motivates you every week. Do something that motivates you every week. Surround yourself with the right people every week. Go and learn something every week. Get a mentor, get a coach. You're doing it right now, right here in this. Every week, this is hitting some of the key principles, the Keystone Habits. I want to open up to questions. What questions, concerns? Before I do that, I want to bring on all the coaches one at a time and see what your take on this, because you're all specialists in your arenas. And since Ryan McDermott is a miniature on his desk at the moment, Ryan, what was your biggest takeaway as a financial advisor, as I want to start calling you the holistic financial advisor, but it's just too many words. So holistic attorney, sticking a Mike Shine. Ryan McDermott, as somebody who makes a living out of protecting people's wealth, diversifying, protecting people's wealth, what would you say was a big takeaway for the Keystone Habits today?
I think the one that jumps out at me, and you sort of alluded to it towards the end, with all anybody who's in our Alchemist program knows this is the net worth tracker. It's tracking your net worth every single week. 30,000 foot habit that I can sort of think always makes sense is time paying everybody, and why not pay ourselves? Pay yourself, and that net worth tracker you will see if you're not, and not if you're not paying yourself, it becomes very evident and obvious. And
Ryan, for some reason, you've got some latency issues. Your phone is lagging.
one benefit of being part of that program. So
we can barely hear you, but I did hear that last part, which was pay yourself, net worth tracker, and join the mentorship program because you get a lot of value out of it. Was that clear?
oh shit.
It's all right, brother. Give Ryan McDermott a round of applause. Ryan, when you get a chance, please put your information in the chat and in the Facebook group. So anybody who wants to learn more about
that sums it up.
Awesome. So if anybody wants to learn more about Ryan McDermott and how he serves the community, how he can help you with your finances, just schedule a call with Ryan or join the mentorship and get access to all the coaches. Next up, let's do Doug McGurk. Doug McGurk.
He's
I
AFK at
think Doug
Disneyland.
took off.
He is in Disneyland. Excellent. So Doug is the guy who trained with Tony Robbins, traveled the country with Tony Robbins, teaches people how to speak, how to attract more people to your voice so that you can actually convert more sales and do as I do, right? So if I'm in front of 42 people right now, it's much easier for me to get my mission out there of building 100 millionaires than it is if I was only in front of one person doing one-on-one sales. So this is a way for me to inspire and train more people. Doug can teach you that speaking, sales, training from the stage. So when you're raising capital or looking for properties, it becomes a very valuable skill to have, especially in new markets. When you're shifting markets, which by the way, migration patterns, be paying attention to them, right, Manny? We're keeping an eye on the migration patterns, people moving around the world. When you're shifting into new markets, being able to speak and teach and train will allow you to get agents on your side, attorneys on your side, lenders on your side, and wholesalers, so you can get into a new market and quickly build a fast team. So speaking is very important in real estate investing. Mitch Jaworski, you're
Yes,
up.
sir.
Big takeaway from Keystone Habits, or what you'd like to give value as.
Something that I see a lot, and it's actually anytime I do a presentation talking about rental property investing, I make sure I put a slide in there that literally shows how over like a 20-year span, you can pretty much guarantee becoming a millionaire by just owning like 2 or 3 rental properties, right? But people are like, whoa, 20 years. And I'm just like, yes, I'm making a point here because every day passes, right? We all grow older. You're 30, next thing you know, you're 40, you're 40, next thing you know, you're 50. And it's all about doing something every day. So like a habit, that's what a habit is essentially. It's like you're working towards something, and it's like taking that specific action every single day is building towards something longer term, something bigger picture, something down the line. And it's just like, well, you're better off using that time to build something than just take every day as it comes, because that time's going to pass regardless. Like no one beats the clock. You can't stop the clock. So doing a little tiny thing, what is it? How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time?
Yep.
So that's the biggest thing. And that's what a habit is. It's basically just doing something every single day. So now the question is it going to be a good habit or a bad habit? You know what I mean? Are you going to sit on your couch eating Doritos, or are you going to go to the gym? Like, what are you doing every day? What's going to benefit you in the long run? And, everyone wants to be a millionaire tomorrow, in terms of just like using money as an example, but it's not the way it works unless maybe you hit the lotto or hit it big on a slot machine, I guess. But so take those actions, because it's just like, what do you have to lose, right? Have positive habits that could build something positive in your life. You have nothing to lose by doing it. So that's kind of just what I was taking away from it and what I was thinking about it. So habits will essentially put you on autopilot to do something positive every day that builds towards, your growth, whether it's, personally, financially, mentally, emotionally. So that's at least the way I look at it. And I think it's a good point of view to have, because perspective and patience is important as well. It takes time. Galter, didn't own dozens and dozens of units in 3 days. That took 3 to 5 years. So know that, and just know that everyone's journey is a little bit different. What might take someone 2 years might take someone else 5. In the end, keep your eye on the prize and just keep growing, and celebrate those wins along the way. It's not just about the end goal. You got to celebrate the wins, each milestone as you go down that road to get to your destination. So again, just keep that in mind. And then also, I appreciate the shout out earlier, because Coulter has been on me about essentially giving too much. And it is true. I am super busy between living a crypto life, living a real estate investing life, and trying to coach. So I definitely stretch myself thin. So he's definitely been good coaching me. So just always know, coaches have coaches, and mentors have mentors. And like I always say, if your coach doesn't have a coach, then you probably need to find another coach. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
I love that. If your coach doesn't have a coach, then you need to find another coach. And just so you know, I may mentor Mitch in some things, but last night I could not set up a Bitcoin wallet for Dorina, but Mitch took 3 hours to go out and find that Bitcoin wallet for her. And so like, I learn a lot about cryptocurrency from Mitch Jorsky. So give Mitch a round of applause. Very smart guy, and he's always willing to give. And we wouldn't be the community we are without him. Another coach who is obviously just transforming people's minds, people's lives. Terry Wager comes from a psychology background. Psychology, he studied so much about the human mind that he really, he just instinctually knows what you're thinking, what you're doing. He also studied some other elements that just, it's transformation, right? Basically what he studied is human transformation, how to make somebody from unhappy to happy, how to make somebody from unsuccessful to successful, not by physically doing anything, just by helping you reprogram yourself, just going in and reprogramming, so that when something bad happens, you're not blind to it. You just create a new story. You instantly see the opportunity. Successful people see opportunities. Poor people see problems. Write that down. And I'm not trying to be hard on the poor, right? I was there. I remember what it's like if I really think about it, but I don't want to think about it. I'd rather focus on what it's like to be wealthy. And I want you focusing on what it's like to be wealthy, because what you focus on expands. What you think about, you bring about. And what Terry helps you do is eliminate the bad thoughts. Now, the bad thoughts will be there no matter what, but the triggers can be shifted to new anchors, new habits, new results. So when the bad thing happens and that thought comes in, you can say, oh, that's not real. This is what reality is. Reality is, I'm about to be more successful because of this opportunity. We were talking about a crash earlier. We were talking about the stock market crashing and having more potential to crash, real estate crashing, crypto, Bitcoin, gold, all of these volatility that's in the market. And this entire group, because they've all sat with Terry, this entire group has an excitement around them. They're like, oh my God, the world's about to fall apart. Opportunity everywhere. It's insanity. But if we go out into the world and we say this, people are like, oh my God, you're crazy. You're insane. You're mean. You're a mean person because you see opportunity in the world's destruction. No, we're going to save the world. The only way we can fix it is if we see opportunity and we go and do the work that needs to be done. If we said, oh my God, the sky is falling, we let all the buildings fall apart and let all the tenants get evicted, well then, yeah, it would be pretty miserable for a long period of time without people like us who are saying opportunity. Let's go fix the building. Let's get a new tenant. Let's fix this whole city. Let's create new jobs. Then things could stay bad. But because we move with positivity and we move and we see the future, we change things for the better. We agree? Everybody in this call changes things for the better. We work towards seeing the positive in things. Terry Wagers helps because nobody's perfect at it. Terry Wager helps you identify how to generate more income. Terry, what would you say the biggest takeaway or something you'd like to add to this lesson is these Keystone habits? I know you talked a little earlier, but mindset. If we can go to the mindset of this and what you do in your coaching program, I think it'd be valuable for everybody.
Yeah, one of the big things that I find we all have a habit of, and it's not necessarily a great habit, but it's something that we're not aware of, is we only focus on what we've always focused on. And so one of the big things that we do at Generator Coaching is help you to, instead of looking at the one thing that you've always looked at and continue to try to improve and not seeing improvement, is to start looking at the other side where you might be missing something. And so really helping you to see the blind spots and help you to really focus on that area, because that's usually the piece that's keeping you held back. And we don't know it because we're so busy focused over here on this track. You want to look over on the other track and really start to clear away that garbage so we can really move forward fast. And it's really about getting in the mindset and getting in the movement about looking at the other places that we're missing if we want to move faster.
I love that. Give Terry a round of applause. If you want to learn more about the coaches, join the mentorship. If you want to get more intense training, join the mentorship. If you want to be successful, yes, join the mentorship. I only sell things I believe in. I only sell things that make sense and move people forward. Hands to the camera if you have already joined the mentorship. Yes, yes. Hands to the camera if you are slightly more successful than you were when you started joining the mentorship. Yes. Hands to the camera if you've read at least 6 more books since joining the mentorship. Absolutely. Give yourselves a round of applause. You've got more information in your head since joining the mentorship. It changes your life, moves you forward. That's my hard sell. My hard sell is I'm going to improve you. Good luck. I'm going to help you learn more and earn more. Show up every week. Let's keep growing together. I appreciate you. You guys, each one of you really makes it special for me. I know your stories, especially since we've had our one-on-one sessions, and I just love seeing you on Saturday mornings. Some of you I see on Mondays and Wednesdays on those calls as well, and it's exciting. And for the people who have been in here for a while and see these trainings, or maybe you just saw us for the first time, saw me for the first time, and you're not sure if it's the right thing for you, or the money's not there for the mentorship yet, keep coming. Let us help you get that money. Let us help you find the money to invest in yourself. If coming up with that $1,000 is difficult, then keep coming, keep applying, keep putting this work to place so that you can get to that next level. And if you're already a millionaire and you're looking to get to that hecto-millionaire status, like a bunch of us are, keep coming. These principles work at every level. Every level has another devil. And all the books I've read present these principles over and over and over. These principles are hidden in every book. All 52 can show up in one book, or sometimes they're spread out across many books. But of all 52 principles, you'll find at least one in every single book, even fiction books. And the Bible has them all. So the wealth principles are there. They're part of the universe. People have noticed them for thousands and thousands of years. We just put them all in one place in a concise location to make it easier for you. But it does take time to digest. So don't overwhelm yourself. Don't go and look at the 52 wealth principles or 52 weeks of wealth and try to do them all in 1 week. That would be counterproductive. That's why some books are hard to get through, because they put all the principles all in one shot and they're like, this is the masterpiece, go and do it. But it's too much. Hands to the camera if you've ever read one of those books. It was too much to apply all at one time. Yes. The 52 weeks of wealth is like that. I will put it in book form, but there will be a warning at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end to do 1 a week. Sure, you can go through and listen to all these, but the practical taking action principle, step 2, comes from doing it, going and doing this principle this week, applying these keystone habits to your life, changing your brain, like Terry Wager does all the time, like adjusting people so they generate more income. Like Mike Shine does, where he says you can raise more capital. Think about partnerships. Mike Shine, give us your keystone principle, your take on keystone principles.
Yeah, so it's funny, when I was sitting there thinking that you were going to call on me as a coach, I was saying, geez, what are keystone habits? And I thought about the Miracle Morning and how his lifesavers talk about 6 things that you do every morning. And then I happened to look down at the list, and next week's book is The Miracle Morning. So that's so perfect. It's unbelievable. So yeah, so those are like 6 keystone habits that you start your day. And that really goes well with what you said about learn every day, because it's just been, I started with A Miracle Morning, and then I started hanging around with you, Walter, and we read a book a week. And so I'm constantly learning. So that's my big takeaway, is just keep learning, keep growing. That's such a great piece of advice. People get comfortable, and that's a mistake.
Give Mike Shine a round of applause. Mike Shine is our coach when it comes to partnerships. If you're looking to partner with other people, bring other people into your business, raise capital, or really expand fast, Mike Shine is the coach on partnerships. He just recently decided that this was the right place for him. We niched him down even further because he was raising capital with people before, but now like partnerships makes more sense because it's both raising capital and getting somebody to do the work for you for free. We talked about at the beginning, who wants to make more money this year? Yes. Who wants to do less work this year at the same time of making more money? This is why this community is so powerful, because you're right, it is possible. And partnerships are how you do it. So Mike Stein is a great coach to talk to if you're looking to build more partnerships. And I also want to give a round of applause to Terry and Mike Stein for that mastermind that helped us divine this moment to partnerships. Give them a round of applause. The coaches are always looking to become more. They're looking to become better, get to the next level, and add more value. We have Mark Stern. We have another coach, Christine. Christine, where are you? I know you got your own window this week. Your big take.
My big take. Thank you. My own window. Yay! Here I am.
We got a little echo on you, but you look amazing in that window.
Keep going.
Terry's fixing the echo. Thank you, Terry. Big takeaway. I think the learning every day, number 1's great. Number 2, take action. That's where I'd like to focus. It's really about the productivity in your day leads to the profitabilities. I know I dropped that in there, but so many people hesitate when they're making the decision or taking their action. And I think that's something that generator coaching really helps to get you in that right mindset. And base it towards, I can take that action. That negative self-talk that runs in our head like, oh no, we can only do 3 units. Let's go for 22, Melissa. And it's, why can't we? And changing that tune when we're taking our action is, let's look at how can I do bigger and better things. That's the only way we get to be millionaires, is that we think bigger than what's presented to us. And I think that's my big takeaway, is learn more of how you can take bigger action and then clear your mindset so you can take action faster and quicker and be more productive to be more profitable.
That's awesome. Give Christine a round of applause. She is a coach with Generator Coaching. Her and Terry are like power couple. These guys, I've traveled all across the country with them and other masterminds and other events and seeing them grow. And Terry's got a new book coming out, which I know Christine has orchestrated, like pushing him to get it done. So every coach has a coach, right? And accountability. Has this been valuable? Yes. Excellent. Excellent. It's good to see Roger Andrews, David Cordero, Steve O'Keefe, Roger Figueroa, Ryan McDermott, yep, Jen Chang, Matt Beers, who came in. It's good. Justin, we were talking online. It's good to see Brett Reed, all of our friends. You guys came in a little late, but don't worry, we see you. For everybody in the mentorship who showed up on time, give yourselves a round of applause. Hanging out early with us, having that little party. I appreciate those couple minutes, just seeing what's going on in your lives, hearing what you're up to. Always feel free to bring something to the table. At this point, I'd like to mention or talk to anyone in the mentorship program, anybody who's graduated. Any comments or statements or questions that you have about the Keystone Habits? This is your chance, your time to shine. Melanie, Santa is calling on you just because I love that smile that you've got right there. That's the one. Melanie, your biggest takeaway from the Keystone Habits?
To just take action and don't get caught up in like trying to learn everything, because it does definitely get in the way and slow you down. So that's my biggest takeaway.
You're awesome, Melanie. Give Melanie a round of applause. Melanie is a very, very successful business owner, entrepreneur. She's been buying businesses since I think she was 18. Is that right, Melanie? 18?
I bought my property at 19 and then my Subway at 22.
So Melanie bought her first property at 19 and her first, because she has multiple and she's buying more, first Subway at 22. and she's an entrepreneur. She's been building, she's a millionaire, and she's going to get to that next level of hectamillionaire. She's doing it with us. And so seeing her every single week dedicating to this, enjoying herself, and building, I love your energy, Melanie. I love seeing you in here. So thank you for sharing. I know for you, you'd rather just be sitting back and just watching and learning, but thank you for having the guts to jump on. You're pretty amazing. Of course. Who else? Someone in the graduate or mentorship program who'd like to talk. How about you, Brett Reed? I know you're never shy for the camera. Biggest value for the key principles or Keystone Habits.
Well, I definitely hit home when you talked about getting a coach. I was sometimes or early in my career was hesitant to spend money on coaching. And since I've taken the leap and spent a little bit of money on it, joining your program, working with Terry, Ryan McDermott's next, I feel like the increase in my success has been exponential, and I expect it to continue in that direction.
Awesome, Brett. We love seeing your success. Give Brett Reed and Melanie a round of applause. These are champions. These are high income earners who are getting to the next level because they have already some of these keystone habits in place in their heads. They're positive. They see opportunity. They take action quickly. Even if in their own minds, they may say, no, I don't take action as fast as I should. You're still doing better than the average person. And many of you are on this call already. These are some of our champions. Kim Harvey, biggest takeaway on the Keystone principles. Asking to unmute the great Kim Possible. This awkward moment of silence is almost too long. I'm going to call on Elizabeth Miller and just hope that Kim.
Sorry, you guys.
There she is.
Sorry, I was in ClickFunnels I'm multitasking.
So ClickFunnels, a great program for marketing and getting yourself to the next level. So even while you're working, you're still taking in knowledge. That may be a principle, a keystone habit. Kim, biggest keystone habit that you think has made you successful, or one that you thought of while you were listening today?
My biggest keystone, well, I have many, but of course, surprise, surprise, is working with my coaches. I spoke with Terry last night. I've been working with Melissa all week on her project, which has been awesome. Putting our girl power together and strategizing how to try and get her deal and figure that out. But it's just invaluable, the networking and the partnerships and getting up every day with the motivation and to just get out there and crush it.
Absolutely. It's that motivation, it's that partnership, getting around the right people, working towards success. Give Kim Harvey a round of applause. She is another millionaire in the program who is shy about it, but she's very, very, when it comes to building businesses, she just loves new businesses, right? We may make fun of her because she's all over the place, but she actually does build her businesses. Like, she just very quickly does them and gets somebody else automated. And I think she's getting even better at making sure they're all symbiotic. Every business lines up and pays each other, which is the master key. Like, that's the program that makes most of the money. Is you can start a new business, but if it pays the other business, bam, bam, increase of income. Stay in the industry, double what you're doing, keep going. If you have any questions, any concerns, and we did not address them today, send me a message on Facebook. I am always available. Send me a message. Do not ask to call me. I do not pick up my cell phone. I am retired. That was a choice I made when I became a millionaire. I don't want to talk on the phone anymore. I love these trainings because I'm in front of a whole bunch of people. Only, and it's very rare, only my coaches, my girlfriend, and my business partner are the one, and maybe my dad or my brother are the only ones who ever get me on the phone. Everybody else is so respectful to my time, and they text me, and I thank you for that. Everybody in the mentorship program, when you text me, do I respond? Yes? Excellent. And so one time somebody told me that I didn't respond, and it turned out I never got their text. So if I do not respond, please verify. It was Chris Hayward. Yep. If I do not respond, please verify that I received it. Message me on Facebook. Just if I, for whatever reason, if I don't respond, I am on Facebook all the time. Always respond, making sure that I'm there. If you have a question, it's something that's stopping you from being successful, I want to know about it. Does that make sense? If there's something stopping you from getting to the next level, ask me that question. Let me pull it out of the way. Join the mastermind so we can do it in person and we can build your experience and build you to the next level. Join the mentorship if you haven't taken it to that level. Grab a coach. Remember, 3 coaches, 2 mentors, local and external. 3 coaches, health, wealth, relationships, 2 mentors, local and outside, and 1 mastermind. And making a mastermind that's powerful and doing the same thing that you want. If you want to buy more rental property, this is the mastermind for you. If you want to be a heart surgeon, find someone else. Does that make sense? Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause. Powerful week. You can learn more about all of the free content I'm putting out. We're doing the Alchemist Nation podcast. I am on episode 87. I have been kicking ass interviewing some of the greatest people around the country. People who are smarter than me, richer than me, own way more units than me. We're talking thousands of units. Some of these guys are 500. Some of them are 7,000. Some of them are 1,700. I am only at 60 units. I'm the small guy in the boat. How cool is that? I'm out there interviewing people way beyond what I've built. And it's pretty cool that they're just so willing and open. But if you listen and pay attention to the last 5 minutes of every podcast, you're going to get their 3 piece of advice that they would give their 20-year-old self. And many of these guys have 20-year-old children that they're giving this advice to actively. Some of them are 20 years old and have been successful early on and very young, just out of college successful. And so they're giving their friends this advice. Is that cool? That age doesn't have any effect on success? Perfect. Excellent. So you can go to gualtermello.com, check out the podcast. You can also check out the 100 Millionaires podcast, which is basically just me and Mike having conversations about our lives, money, and we bring in our friends every so often, some successful people who we want to learn from. It's me and Mike's secret technique to get rich people to talk to us. And so we bring them on the 100 Millionaires podcast, ask them all the questions that we want in our business so we don't have to pay a consulting fee. How cool is that? Yeah. It's a tactic, a strategy, and me and Mike just have fun. We love learning. We love teaching. You hear a little bit about what we're doing with gold, what we're doing with stocks, what we're doing with cryptocurrency, why I'm moving into a heavy cash position, why I'm selling some of my real estate, but not all of it, keeping a lot of my cash flow stuff, just selling my appreciation plays, doing some flips. We talk about why we do what we do as millionaires, because that's what millionaires do. We talk about money. Poor people don't. Rich people do, because we want to be richer. Because we can move ourselves forward the more we talk about money. If your friends won't talk about money, don't push it on them. We'll do it for you. We'll just talk about money together. That's okay. We want to be your new friends. That's why I built this program, was to find people who are like-minded. That's it. Right, Mike?
Yes, absolutely.
Building 100 millionaires so that you can go out and inspire another 100 millionaires. The goal is thousands, millions of millionaires, but we're starting with our Dream 100. We're starting with 100 millionaires who can help us go out and inspire another 100 millionaires and another 100 millionaires, another 100 millionaires. We're starting with core group. That's what this mission is all about. This next year or two is building the core group of 100 millionaires who are going to go and inspire their 100 millionaires. And from that point forward, at some point, we will break the system. At some point, they'll be printing so much money and we'll have it all. And they're going to say, damn, like, what do you guys want to transact with? And we'll say whatever we want, whatever makes sense for us. Does that make sense? It's a powerful group of people. I love each and every one of you. And I appreciate the fact that you are willing to commit to yourself and your success. Thank you. Go forward and interact with these 3 Keystone Habits this week. If it's 1 hour, if it's all of Sunday like I do, focus on these habits, how you can implement them into your life, and success will follow. If you ignore this, results may vary. Cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work with the best.